and welcome to AGK's Vinyl Life. I'm your host, Anthony K. And on this episode, I have Miss Sarah Dionysus here.
Hi, how you doing?
And for those of you that maybe watched a couple of weeks ago, she did a live Q&A on my channel, which you will find in the live section of my channel. The replay is up for you guys all to see. She is, and if you haven't seen it, Sarah is started out as a dancer on the Much Music Canadian MTV. It was Canada's MTV. She started out as a dancer there on MTV on the Electric Circus. She was in music videos. She's also a model and modeled for many years and still does do some modeling. And modeled for me many times, which is where I met her. And she's also an occultist. And so but tune into that video, guys, and check all the stuff out. We had about an hour and a half talk with Sarah where she talks about her life and the occult and everything. So check that out, guys. I'll leave a link. That'll be linked in this video. At the end of the video, you'll be able to check out that video. But today we're here because Halloween is just around the corner, in a few days away. I'm not sure what date I'm releasing this video yet, but it is going to be very close to Halloween. So kind of just thought I would do something in the kind of occult, witchy, Illuminati vein of music. Not so much the music, though there are some bands here that do follow that kind of genre of music, but it's more for the album covers. And I thought I would have Sarah here, who is an occultist and a Wiccan. And Wiccan is the correct word, not witch, right?
Yes.
So
I like witch.
She likes okay. So
like
Sarah's a witch. She's an occultist. She's gorgeous. I've known her for years. I love her dearly, and she's going to hold up the covers, similar to what we had with Miss Ellie Clara a few months ago. And we're going to just show you guys some really cool. Some of them are famous, and you will recognize them right away, and some of them are obscure. I've got bands here going from the '60s right through till one that arrived in my mail literally 5 minutes before I filmed this video.
That's great.
So there you go. We got everything here, guys. And so I'm going to start with, I guess I've got these kind of organized in piles. And the first is all to do with kind of Illuminati kind of vibe to the album covers with eyes. You'll see the famous, a lot of Illuminati symbolism and eyes. And maybe Sarah will comment on some of the things she likes about these covers. But I'm going to pass these to Sarah to show. And the first is Blue Oyster Cult, Fire of an Unknown Origin. And you might want to raise it a little, I don't know.
There you go.
Whatever.
I'm
sure we're okay.
We think we're okay.
Fire of an Unknown Origin, Blue Oyster Cult, famous album from, I think this was around 1980, if I remember right. It was featured in the songs from this were featured in the heavy metal movie. I think the big songs from this were Burnin' For You was a big single. Joan Crawford was a big single. But as you can see, there's lots of symbolism on this cover. We've got what? We got a pentagram here. And she can probably tell us some of these things better than me.
There's definitely a pentagram here. There's the Iron Cross. There's the sign of Venus.
Which is the sign of Venus? Oh, this one here.
Yeah, that's the sign. And then, of course, come back down to the triangle. The one pointing up, the one pointing down, actually putting them together actually makes the star.
See, we're getting an education guy.
This one is feminine, this one's masculine.
Well, so there you go, guys. I bet you nobody knew about that the album cover.
Yes.
We got an expert here. That's why I brought Sarah in. She can see things in this cover that I wouldn't know anything about.
And of course the eyes.
So there you go. That was Blue Oyster Cult and Fire of an Unknown Origin. Next up is another album that's rather famous. You guys might recognize. Steve Miller Band, Abracadabra. Of course, the big single on this song was Abracadabra. And, of course, we have an eyeball on that and definitely a witchy feel with the whole abracadabra. I mean, probably the most famous. Is that actually a thing?
It is.
Is it actually a term?
It's actually a
magic term
Actually,
thing?
Alistair Crowley says that it's actually a word that you're not supposed to say because it really is a word of power. It really is.
There you go, guys.
It really is. Look it
Abracadabra. Abracadabra is a real thing.
It is,
And it's got the eye again on it.
Great art.
It's got the eye on it.
Wonderful
again.
art.
So we'll put that there. These first few bunch are all like Illuminati. They have to do with eyes. This one I don't need to take out of the thing. This is a compilation album of 60s, mostly late 60s psychedelic music. And it's called Psychedelic Dream. It's a 2 LP set on Columbia Records. And as you can see, we've got that is the Illuminati
Yes, it is. I love
symbol, an eye.
It is. I love the color of this one.
So there you go, guys.
Yeah.
Illuminati symbol.
Yep.
And anything else you can tell us about that symbol, or is that pretty much?
That's pretty much it for
that's
this
pretty
one.
much it for this one.
The colors, it's right out there. It's very nice. I like that one.
Another one that people will probably recognize, very famous album back in the day, and she can probably describe this symbol better than I can. It's a famous symbol.
Yeah, it's the Eye of Horus.
There you go. The Eye of Horus, and of course this is Alan Parsons Project's Eye in the Sky.
Yes.
Which features, of course, the big single Eye in the Sky. Very famous song.
Yeah. Egyptian magic. Very, very important. Very, very cool.
We got an expert today, guys.
Yeah, it's all about Egyptian magic. Look it up. Eye of Horus.
The Eye of Horus.
The Eye of Horus
is also featured on our last album that talks about eyes, the 13th Floor Elevators.
Oh, this one's great.
And it too has the Eye of Horus,
and
even on the back.
On the back, it has the pyramid there with the eye. I love that, right?
And that's of course, psychedelic music from the 60s.
Yeah.
Classic 13th Floor Elevators.
Everything but the eyes, anything with the occult and the eyes, because it's about seeing the third eye, which you come to, right?
And that is the Eye of Horus as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Is Eye of Horus on the back as well? Is it the same?
Oh, just the
Illuminati
eye.
The Illuminati eye that we saw on the Psychedelic Dream album.
Record. Look at the color on the record. That's so
Isn't that
cool.
cool. Yeah, it's a picture disc.
That is so cool.
So there you go, guys. A little bit of occult in regards to albums with eyes. I mean, I could have pulled a lot of albums, guys. I randomly pulled about 30 albums last night, though I have many, many more in my collection. I could do 5 parts of this video with covers, because you guys know I'm into metal and a lot of this stuff. The next one is another famous album by a famous band from the 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000s. Nazareth, Expect No Mercy. And we're going to get into a little bit of devil stuff now, because devils definitely comes into the occult. And this is a Frank Frazietta, famous artist. This is his work that Nazareth used on the album cover, and this is basically, good versus evil there. We have, obviously Satan, and we have good at the bottom holding up his sword to it, but something in the devil vein. This is a famous painting by Frank Frazietta that Nazareth borrowed for the use of this album cover. So then that's, of course, Nazareth Scottish Rockers. And next up, another album that's famous that you guys will know. We're going to get into some obscure stuff, but you can't talk about hell and all this kind of witchy stuff on Halloween without talking about Meatloaf's Bat Out of Hell, guys. What a fantastic album cover, right?
Famous
cover. I don't even need to talk about this album. If you don't know Bat Out of Hell, you haven't heard music.
Yeah, exactly.
So Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell, the motorcycle coming out of the underworld there with the vampire bat and everything. Just an amazing album cover. An iconic album cover.
Yep. I love that.
Now something a little more obscure. This is a band that popped up a few years ago. I really like these guys. They're called the Goners. They are kind of a garage rock, doom rock, kind of stoner rock band. The Goners. This is their debut album, Good Morning. And I've shown this before on my channel. And Sarah can probably see a few things in there. We've got the upside down cross. Yeah. And of course it's mourning as in mourning for the dead.
Yeah.
And we've clearly got a horned creature there.
Giving up to the sacrilegious of the upside down cross.
Is what? What does the upside down cross actually mean?
Well, I guess for some people who are rebellious against Christianity, it's like a mockery of the Christian faith. So that's why they do it.
We're getting an educational video, guys.
Trying to be a little bit rebellious against the Christians. That's what that is for sure. And of course the loving skeleton there.
The loving skeleton.
The loving
skeleton.
What
a cool album cover.
Loving the skeleton.
And we got to keep the Halloween vibe going.
Of course.
And next is X. She now lives in the United States. She was actually, and I've shown this album before, and I actually did a video all about this album when it was first released a couple of years ago. Living Dead Girl. We'll just bring that up.
I love that.
Living Dead Girl, Exorcism. I've talked about this album before. She is a model from Toronto that originally I shot as a model, and you'll see her on my website from days gone by. At the time, she was struggling to become a post-punk metal artist. Definitely, she does the growling vocals mixed with very beautiful vocals. This album is spectacular, and I've endorsed it many, many times. It's her debut album, Exorcism. She got her name, Living Dead Girl, from Rob Zombie. That's where the name came from. You might want to raise that a little bit.
Just a little bit more like that.
Yeah,
so
just make sure we're not below
the thing here.
the thing there.
There we go.
Living Dead Girl, Exorcism, fantastic album, and something in, obviously the cover of that album is very demonic and possession, and she's floating in the air there. Very cool album cover.
What do you think about Exorcism?
Next one, I couldn't have a video without, of course, talking about Alice Cooper. I think you guys know is in my top 3 artists of all time. And today my fit check is the Dance with Dead shirt that I got a few weeks ago at a concert. Dance with Dead opened up for Beast in Black. And this is obviously, there's a lot of things going on in this. We've got the eyes here.
Love that shirt.
We've got this
Great art.
this vampire girl dancing. We got the pentagram.
Very nice.
Very cool shirt. So that's my fit check on this video. Because I always do a fit check.
Occult fashion.
And of course we got the Friday the 13th hat today. Which was just Friday the 13th. When I'm filming this, Friday the 13th was just a couple days ago. But yeah, we can't talk about the occult. Now, Alice Cooper is, of course, the king of shock rock. But a lot of his albums don't have a lot to do really with the occult. I mean, they do with monsters and maniacs and whatnot. But this one here is the closest one, I think, in his library that deals with the devil and the dark side, because the whole point of this album was after Welcome to My Nightmare, Alice Cooper went to hell. And the whole concept of this album, all the songs in this album, are he goes to hell. He goes for hell, as in the title track, for criminal acts on the stage, as the lyric goes. He gets sent to hell, and so all the songs are about the devil, meeting the devil, what the devil does. It's a fun album, all hell themed, and a trip to hell with Alice Cooper.
Amazing.
Another iconic album that everybody knows, but we had to show it today.
We'll show both sides.
Of course. This is the brand new remaster with the Beast Over Hammersmith as well, live album. But of course, we're talking Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast, 666, iconic cover with the devil on it. A cover that was very controversial back in the day, and a lot of parents didn't want kids having this album in their house because of the cover.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of parents didn't. My parents didn't. I didn't care. I brought stuff into the house. They understood my love of music. It was all noise to them back then, anyhow. But an iconic cover. We had to show it.
Yeah.
In today's show, the devil there on the cover of Number of the Beast, 666. Next up is a more recent album by a group called Bloody Hammers. And do we want to show the inside? Oh, we could do. She can flip open the inside. Yeah, the album's called The Summoning. And songs like Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, Now the Screaming Starts, The Summoning. This is stoner rock, almost metal. It's somewhere between stoner rock, hard rock, and metal. Welcome to the Darkness. It's very, very,
very cool.
Very, very occulty themed, as you can see here. There's Summoning, and we'll show this. Just flip it open, and you can see the inside there. Bloody Hammers and The Summoning, and clearly, just gonna move these.
Yeah, sure.
They're falling down. And you can see on the back there, this guy is clearly summoning something.
I love this art. It's like vintage. Like it has like that old.
It has
like
that
from
old,
like an old horror, like
yeah,
from
like
the
an
Carrie
old,
days.
exactly,
Love it.
and as we're gonna see in a minute some more. It's like that old 60s,
Horror
60s horror films, late 60s and early 70s Guy Yellow films and horror films of that, the Hammer horror films and all that era of films where there's a little bit of sexploitation films and whatnot. They really dabbled with, I think those films are legendary, the 70s horrors. The next one is one I've shown very recently because I just picked this up on my trip to BC, and this is Sorcery. A hard rock, metal hard rock album, long lost, that I picked up in BC, and I've shown it on a recent video when I went to see Rachel's Ghost, who Sarah appeared on this morning. She appeared on Rachel Ghost's show. And this is Sorcery, and Till Death Do We Part. A very, very rare album. Original pressings of this go for a fortune. It's been recently released in very, very limited quantities. In fact, this is number 406, 160 out of 262 copies pressed. So there's only 262 copies of this out there. But we can see a whole. What sort of vibe do you get on that album cover?
Oh, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
Yeah, there's some symbols.
Well, have you seen the movie Eyes Wide Shut?
Not
Tom
in
Cruise.
forever.
Yeah.
Not in forever.
You've noticed that again, a lot of the Illuminati with the masked people with the. This would be like the Virgin being sacrificed. Of course, to
there's
the
a
group.
lot of things in that going on.
A lot going on here, and of course the death in red would be the Red Death.
The Red Death.
The Red Death, of course. If anybody knows about the Red Death, yeah. So it's a lot of symbolism in here. Till death do we part. So it's pretty much sacrificing the blonde virgin.
There we go, guys. And the next two here, finishing with the whole deviling kind of thing, are the Brown Acid series. People know I collect the Brown Acid series. I have up to 16 volumes now. But these two ones I pulled. Brown Acid is famous of pulling up old archival photos from the era. Of course, the Brown Acid series is all garage rock groups from long lost garage rock and hard rock bands. Most of them that only had like singles out there, obscure music. But it's a very popular series, and I love the series of music. They release an album twice a year in the Brown Acid series. But they steal a lot of scenes from these 60s that we were just talking about, these 60s and 70s horror movies and whatnot. They actually steal some visuals from those films and use them on their album covers. I don't know if it's technically licensed to do so, but I don't think because I recognize some of the movies that I've seen on their covers, some of the shots. I go, I got that movie in my collection back there. But this is the 9th trip, and we can see what's going on there. Clearly some sort of ritual. The naked girl with the skull there, and I'm sure this is pulled from one of these 60s movies. Definitely, no question.
It has that vibe.
Has that vibe. And there's another one from the Brown Acid series where we clearly have some sort of witchy seance going here, or a sacrificial thing with the naked girl with the standing behind the, doing
definitely a ritual.
Doing a ritual in front of the flames there.
Yeah.
On the Brown Acid. And that was the 12th trip from last year, I think, year before, last year, because there's 2 a year. I think we're number 17 is about to come out, so it's a couple of years ago. So there you go.
Loving that.
And now we'll just slide these away. And we're back! Magic! Hey, it's a magical show. All right, next up. Now, all this stuff here is to do with wizards, and I'm falling down on my chair, guys. My chair is slowly collapsing. I have no idea what I'm sitting on right now to make this work. But first up is one of the most famous albums of all time. But it's very witchy, and I wonder how many of you, I don't know if I'll cut that or not, I'll just leave it. How many of you realize that she's witchy in this, and it's Fleetwood Mac's Rumors? Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. As you can see, she's wearing a very witchy outfit. And though she denies it was witchy, a lot of people say this is a very witchy cover. So take what you want from it. I definitely see the witch vibe in that cover, in the outfit.
I like it.
Stevie Nicks, of course, legendary album. So we had to throw that in there just to have that witchy vibe. Next is a famous album. One of my favorites from the Electric Light Orchestra, El Dorado. This is the album that got me into Electric Light Orchestra. And let's see, Sarah should know what this picture is from.
We all know who that is. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz.
The Wonderful Wizard of Oz and the Wicked Witch of the West.
West. Yeah, trying to take Dorothy's shoes and getting electrocuted, not being able to take them.
Yeah. Classic stuff there.
Can't go wrong with that. That's great.
Witchy cover.
Can't get any witchier than that.
You can't get any witchier than the Wicked Witch of the West.
That is there you
iconic
go.
Scene there.
Like literally iconic.
There you go. Fame. And now this is a little more obscure, guys. A little more obscure, but I had to mention it because it is a known album. And this is Frank Zappa, Ship Arriving Too Late to Save a Drowning Witch.
Oh my gosh.
Which does have a song on it called Drowning Witch, but I thought I'd throw it in there because it does have the witchy title. I don't know if there's really a witch on there, but I guess this is the witch.
I would assume.
And I guess this is the ship.
That's the ship, and that's getting the witch. Maybe that's the top of her hat?
Maybe the top of her hat.
That's the top of her hat.
And she's drowning, The ship too late to save a drowning witch. And I think, what was the big song on here? Valley Girl.
There you
She's
go.
a Valley Girl.
There you
She's
go.
a Valley Girl.
There we go. That's actually hilarious.
Yeah, so
That's
there you go.
hilarious.
Next up is a soundtrack to a great movie.
Love this.
Had to get a little Rob Zombie in there today, of course. And this thing is collapsing under me.
Little at a time. Little at a time.
I'm just like I'm propping myself up here. The famous Rob Zombie film, The Lords of Salem, and she'll show you the back and inside and everything of that album cover. This is the movie right here. I'll just hold that next to it. If you haven't seen this movie, very witchy movie. In fact, she hasn't seen it, and I think she's going to want to watch this.
I'm going to have to watch it.
She's going to have to watch it.
Open this up too.
Lords of Salem, soundtrack from the Lords of Salem.
Amazing.
Amazing cover art on this album.
Amazing.
Waxwork Records always do amazing covers, and this one is no exception. Absolutely amazing piece of art on this album cover.
Love it.
And as you can see there, I can see
So much going on in this.
there's so much. What can you tell us about this cover, actually?
Well,
The goat is what?
That's it's,
ram?
It would be a representative of Satan.
Okay.
Baphomet for sure. And again, the cross. Again, that's just goth symbolism for that. And you see these guys down here. It's like part of the coven. Here, yeah. Oh, there's just so much going on in this, and the fire, of course, because like witches love their fire.
Is that a thing? Witches love fire?
Absolutely. It's one of the
Why?
It's one of the main elements.
Just because it's an element.
It's an element,
An
and-
elemental thing.
Exactly.
So there you go, guys.
Yeah.
Lords of Salem, and there's the movie. Check it out if
Nice.
you've never seen it. A great Rob Zombie film with, of course, Sherry Moon Zombie.
Watch that.
Lords of Salem. Next up is a band, and I just picked this one because they're more garage rock than anything, modern garage rock. But I love this album, came out a few years ago. But I had to include it just because of the name of the band.
Amazing.
LA Witch. Great, great, great album. Firestarter. This is a really cool album. If you guys don't know it, check it out. It's modern garage rock. It's an all-female band, three members, three girls do this band, and they just kick ass. LA Witch.
Very cool. Like it.
Another very, this is kind of doom metal, dark. Can we show the inside? Yeah, we don't need to show the inside, actually.
Okay.
This is kind of doom metal, stoner rock. I can't even pronounce the name of the album because I believe it's in German. But the group is Salem's Pot, and definitely yeah, I just put your hand over
Oh,
it.
right.
Just censor the back cover. But Salem's Pot, and I can't. It's got Lurlar.
Ut dig par praien.
So anybody out there that can speak German, tell me what the cover actually means. But definitely very obviously
Very
witchy and Salem is.
It's perfect for this month.
And now we can't forget, and I mean, I've shown this before. Everybody in the vinyl community shows this album, so I won't spend much time, but probably one of the most iconic Witch album covers of all time. Can you guys guess what it is? Black Sabbath, debut album, of course. And actually just saw a video by another channel, I think it was Frank, Channel 33 RPM, just did a video yesterday by coincidence about scary album covers. And he talked about it. The girl was, I believe, 19 years old in this picture.
Wow.
She was only like 5 feet tall or four something feet tall.
Amazing.
But very witchy, scary. Maybe I'll raise it up a little bit. Witchy, scary album cover. Legendary. And of course, those that don't know it, Black Sabbath got their name from this Boris Karloff film from 1960. I'm trying to remember when this came out. 1963. 1963 film with Boris Karloff, Black Sabbath. This is where the name of Black Sabbath came from for the band.
Amazing.
Came from this movie right here. And a great watch. Great Halloween watch. Black Sabbath.
Nice.
But that's where they got the name of their group. And I won't show any more Black Sabbath albums because everybody's show is Black Sabbath albums. I'm trying to show you a few more things now that people don't know. And this is a band that I discovered a few years ago and I've talked about before. They are an all-female hard rock metal band from Germany. I pulled actually 4 of their albums here. Just because the covers are so spectacular on these.
Yeah.
This album is their debut album called Hexenhammer. And just look at that fabulous fab. I can't
Even
remember
the
what's...
back is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, she'll show that. And what's on the inside?
I'll show that in a second.
I can't remember. I think it's just the band on the inside, but we can... Yeah, it's just a band on the inside. Well, I'll show you some of the other ones after.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
But they have just a Burning Witches. What more can I say? What an iconic name for a metal band. All female. These guys are fantastic. Check them out. I've been a big supporter of these guys since they started. They're a 2010s modern metal band.
Amazing.
Burning Witches. Here is their third album, actually, because I'm not showing the second one. This was called Dance with the Devil. And another very cool. I think all the album covers just have them on the inside, so we don't need to show the insides.
That's fine. Yeah.
But another very cool art on that one. Got the devil on there. I think their album art is spectacular.
It is pretty amazing.
And then their next album from last year, I think it was last year or the year before, The Witch of the North. What more can I say about Burning Witch? And this one, maybe we can.
Open.
Does it?
Open.
Is it? Let me just see. Does it? Yeah, it does. So you can open the whole thing. It's actually one picture.
I'll do it this way.
Yeah, it's actually one whole picture. There you go. Isn't that very, very cool?
That's very cool.
The Witch of the North, Burning Witches. Really, really spectacular cover art. Absolutely spectacular.
For sure.
And then the one that arrived literally 5 minutes before I filmed this video. Literally arrived. The brand new Burning Witches album from this year called The Dark Tower.
Love it. Talk about timing.
Talk about timing, and she'll show the back because I can see now there's a pentagram.
Yep, there's
a pentagram
made out of skulls.
Made out of skulls. But what art, guys? Like spectacular art.
Amazing.
So this literally showed up on my doorstep 5 minutes before I filmed this video. Talk about witchy, huh?
Yep.
Talk about witchy.
It's meant to be.
Okay, one more now. We're going to go back with one famous album cover that you guys should all know from one of the famous albums of all time. And we showed Blue Oyster Cult earlier, but we couldn't show Blue Oyster Cult without showing Agents of Fortune with the magician on the cover. And of course, this album spawned Don't Fear the Reaper, legendary song.
Yeah.
But you got the magician on the cover of that one.
Classic.
Legendary art. Next up are another modern metal band, doom metal, dark metal, whatever. This is Electric Wizard, and I think the name of the album speaks for itself. The name of this album was called Black Masses. Of course, has songs like Black Mass on it, The Night Child, Satyrix, Scorpio Curse, Crypt of Dragula.
Wow.
So definitely some things going on in that, very wizardly and so on. Electric Wizard.
Very nice.
And there's a second album here, which I won't show you the inside because I think the girls. It's a pull-out. It's a pull-out thing. Yeah. We're not.
Can't put that one on today. Not today.
Electric Wizards, Wizard, Bloody Wizard, and of course that definitely take their name from Black Sabbath's Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. But this is Wizard, Bloody Wizard.
Cool.
So yeah, to do with wizards.
Love that.
Next up is one of my favorite bands of the 2010s, Ghost. I love this band. As you guys know, my number one album of 2022 was Ghost's brand new album, Impera. This is their previous album called Prequel. All their album covers I could show today because they're very, very, a lot of religious and demonic and stuff going on here. Maybe we'll see what Sarah says about this cover. But this is the cover of Prequel, their previous album.
This is gorgeous. I absolutely love this cover.
All their cover art is amazing, but
the back of it reminds me very much of like medieval time period. It's very nice. This is definitely showing the different levels of hell.
We've got the upside down cross again. It's got a moon on it.
And the moon with that, right? Sitting in his throne. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, different levels. This is wonderful.
If you see their other album covers, you'd just be blown away by their other album covers.
Yeah. So this stuff looks like Michelangelo's stuff, but just like, darker. Yeah, totally medieval. So great.
Isn't that amazing? So there you go, Ghost, guys.
Wow.
And the next artist is another artist you guys might not know that I love. She's definitely in the kind of metal, doom metal kind of genre, similar to Living Dead Girl almost. Brilliant vocalist, but they are called In This Moment. And I pulled a few of her album covers because her album covers definitely have a very satanic and dark and witchy and whatnot vibe. I'll let Sarah give her impressions of this one. This is an earlier album of hers called Blood.
Oh, I love it.
Definitely the high priest. We got the high
The
priestess.
high priestess keep going.
High priestess vibe is actually in these last couple albums we're showing
Yeah,
today.
and then
It's
her on
all
the
kind of the
back, yeah.
high priestess.
Very cool. But yeah.
Our last few covers are all to do with kind of high priestesses.
Yeah.
And what is a high priestess really? Is she a high priestess of dark arts or?
A high priestess is the best represented of the female form.
There you go.
Yes, the goddess.
That's why I had Sarah here today,
The
because
goddess.
she could give us insight into these covers that most of us probably would never even know. And here's another one of her albums. I love this album.
Wow.
This album is the one with.
It's gorgeous.
Is this the one with? Give me a sec. Yeah, In the Air Tonight. She does an amazing cover of Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight. I think better than Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight. Amazing version of In the Air Tonight on this. She also does like one cover on every album, but this one's called Ritual.
That is gorgeous. I love this. I think this, out of all of them, this is like my favorite.
Oh, it is her favorite album of everything we showed today?
So far, so this one's my favorite. Yeah, I love it. See the girls on the back doing their...
Yeah, amazing stuff.
That is amazing.
Ritual in this moment. I
Wow.
love this album. This was the first album I got by this band, and I went back and got the rest of her catalog, and I just love this artist. Absolutely love this artist.
This is nice.
In this moment. And then their
Ritual,
I believe
wonderful.
their latest album. I wonder when their next album coming out. And this is
Oh, that's cool.
this has got a very cool cover, which I think we can. It's got a good gate. Yeah, it's got amazing gatefold, and it's got.
Wow, this is amazing too.
Yeah, you're gonna love all these. And it's got an
Wow.
amazing insert, I believe, as well. And give me a sec, guys. Is it? It's a book. I won't bother with the
That's
book.
still amazing.
But we'll do the inside. This is In This Moment again, and this one's called Mother.
Amazing. So yeah.
And on this one, she does a cover of Fly Like an Eagle, the Steve Miller song. Fly Like an Eagle. She also does a cover with Maria Brink. And Maria Brink is, of course, from In This Moment. Maria Brink, Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm, and Taylor Monison from The Pretty Reckless do a cover of the Queen's We Will Rock You. So, very cool, but it's
Very cool.
definitely on the satanic or whatever, the dark side. So these songs do not like sound. She does her own play, her own vibe on these
The
songs.
darker.
But check out, that's got a lenticular cover. That was a limited edition. It's on a blood vinyl, and we might actually pull the vinyl out for this
Can we
one.
open up there so they can see the inside?
Yeah, you want to see the inside?
You gotta see
Spectacular.
this. Look at this.
Definitely the high priestess feel again. Actually, you can turn it around because that's all
Oh,
one.
as well. Yeah.
It's all one picture there.
The eyes.
Amazing cover art.
Look at that! Wow, this is nice.
Her
this
albums,
one too.
yeah, her albums are just the concept that goes into all her album covers are amazing. And let's actually pull the vinyl out because
yeah.
I think this is on like a blood. If I remember right, it's on a blood vinyl.
What the heck?
And as you can see, the symbols on the, and this is on a it's
This
on a
is
blood.
amazing.
It's on a blood red vinyl. There.
Wow. Yeah, that's gorgeous.
A lot of the albums I showed today do have colored vinyl, but
Yeah?
I wasn't gonna start pulling them all out and because that, as you can see, it takes forever to get them back in their sleeves.
That's
But
beautiful.
I'll just put that there.
Yeah.
Another artist. This is Cobra, Cobra and the Lotus, a Canadian artist, and that's their album, and which is also definitely in the metal genre. And this is an album called, and it's on a. We'll show this one. This is called High
I was
Priestess.
gonna say it looks exactly like the High Priestess from like the tarot cards.
Is that what it is? Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's a few little symbols in there. Probably
Yeah.
you can see the symbols in
One of the
her outfit and whatnot. If I
Yeah,
remember right.
the card, the High Priestess tarot card. She's sitting in a chair, just
And
like
there's
that.
like I see serpents there.
Yep. It's a little bit. It's been changed a little bit, but it's definitely from the tarot.
It's just, oh, there we
Yeah,
go. I
from
didn't
the-
know that it was from the tarot
Yeah,
card.
for sure.
And this is on a cool vinyl too.
Oh,
She
sorry,
can,
yeah.
we'll just pull it out.
Yeah.
As you can,
Oh,
it's
wow.
on two different colors of vinyl.
Look at that.
Kind of a purple and a kind of orange. So they kind of have
Like Halloween colors.
Halloween kind of
colors.
vibe to that. High Priestess by Cobra and the
Yeah.
Lotus. And the last one up on our show today,
Oh,
guys.
wow.
But before I get to the last one on our show, we're going to pause for this. And we're back. And the last thing on our show today is Hawkwind, who have done a number of things. And this is Space Ritual, famous album by Hawkwind. This actually opens up into a big poster thing. So I don't know how we're going to do that. We won't open it up because it's actually
It just keeps
opens
going.
up. It opens up and opens up and opens up. But we'll just show the cover because we
Wow.
definitely have another I guess high priestess kind of
Yes.
vibe going on space
Goddess.
ritual, goddess thing going on space ritual.
Yeah. Yeah. The goddess and the eye.
Oh,
and
there's the eye. Didn't even see the eye
Yeah,
there.
the
Yeah,
eye
the eye's
there.
in there.
And yeah, and her stance also, where she's standing.
And that's it. That's all, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Happy Halloween. It's just a few days away. Thank you, Sarah, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And
lots of fun.
I love you. You're such a good friend.
Awesome, man.
And
Lots of
you made
fun.
this video. And I hope you guys enjoyed this look at some really cool seasonal kind of occulty, witchy,
Thanks.
and endorsed by our occultist here. Witch. She likes to be called a witch, so we'll let her be a witch. We'll call her a witch. Our witch, Sarah Dionysus. Check her out on Instagram and on YouTube. Links will be in the comments below, in the description below. Check her out. Thank you, guys. I'll see you in my next video. Happy Halloween and rock and roll.